But anyways, we brought this man on to give us some expertise. One of our boxing aficionados.
Come on.
Don't let someone punch you, fam.
So, in my opinion, the biggest fight that's scheduled right now is actually to be big fight.
It's
Billy Joe, and Canelo. I mean, you could argue in terms of magnitude, in terms of actual fighting quality, undisputed. You can argue Josh Taylor and Jose Ramirez, but they're not as well known, especially Canelo. So we're going to touch on Canelo and Billy Joe first. I mean, what's your thoughts on that?
I think, I've been hearing about this fight for years, to be honest. It's good that it's been able to happen now. I feel like now, Canelo's stock is crazy. The guy's gone up from, welterweight. He's gone all the way to light heavyweight. He's won world titles all along the way. But I think 168 is his sweet spot. And I think it'd be too much for Billy Joe, man, because I feel Billy Joe is he's a good boxer, but when I just think about times in the past, in between training camps, he's put on weight, and when I think about the Eubank fight was close, like real close, and I just feel like, I think Canelo's got his number still. I don't really see it being a big issue for him.
Billy Joe, he does have the tools to give Canelo issues. Like, he's slick. He's got decent speed. He's a southpaw. I mean, he's got really good skills.
That's true.
However, he doesn't have the power, in my opinion. Maybe he can display it, but doesn't have the power to keep Canelo off him. And Canelo's footwork and his ability to cut off the ring has really improved. So if you don't have the power to keep Canelo off you, and Canelo's a counter partner, so what Callum Smith was saying, even though Callum Smith is slower than Billy Joe Saunders, he was saying that you're hesitant to jab because Canelo's always bobbing and weaving and he can counter you off jabs. And so when you're not jabbing, he's closing down the distance. But before you know it, he's already hammering in those body shots. But Billy Joe Saunders is more elusive. But my main issue for him is, does he have the power to hurt and stun Canelo, to be hesitant to come in and closing the distance to cause his own damage? Because if you don't have that power, Canelo's going to walk for your punch because he has a solid chin. Like, he never got off. Canelo has a really, really good chin. I don't think Canelo's been dropped down in his career.
Should have won.
But the first one, he should have.
What I'll say to counter your point is that you touched on Melo. You talked about the southpaw point.
Yeah.
But Canelo, he did struggle against Erislandy Lara, and he's
Lara
a purist when it comes to boxing. And for me, I remember watching that fight, and I thought, this Lara guy is good. I thought, there's an argument that he probably won the fight.
Lara did win.
Yeah, so.
But obviously,
he does struggle with the southpaws.
And win, to be honest, Canelo.
On the scorecard,
but Lara's not. Lara, he didn't really have the power. He was more, he had the ability. And even with Floyd, I know it was a long time ago, much earlier in Canelo's career. These guys didn't have power, innit? Yeah. So maybe if he doesn't have the power, maybe he'll still be able to do something. I don't know.
I mean, you could do, obviously, because those guys have shown the blueprint, obviously. But that was a long time ago. Canelo has improved.
It's true, yeah.
But Floyd Mayweather's Floyd Mayweather. I mean, I don't have to go too much into that. Lara, it saw a long time ago as well. Like I said, Canelo's improved cutting off the ring, all that sort of stuff, and finding ways to get around things of that nature. Like I said, Lara won. But right now, I think I don't see Billy Joe Saunders being quite as quick and as elusive as those guys. And for that reason, and he does have a kind of like a stamina issue, like you said, took the weight in between fights. And even though, in my opinion, Canelo, he does have a bit of a stamina issue, he's improved that as well. But if you're not able to do it consistently, and like you said, the scorecards, because BGS was really touching on it, like, I need a fair fight, I need a fair shake, I need the judges to be correct.
The fight's in America, isn't it?
Yeah, and it is. And what's called drug, blah, 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 because Canelo got caught for eating meat.
Yeah, horse meat thing. Obviously, he's the best of his generation right now. He's the golden boy. I really want to see Crawford fight him, actually. I want Crawford to go up.
Yeah, but Crawford, weight-wise, I don't know if Crawford would be accustomed to,
He needs to fight a
that
couple
kind of
more
weight.
fights, at that weight, but I think Crawford can go up.
To what? You can go up to 154, and that's his limit.
Yeah, but 168, that's huge for him.
Now, Canelo will have to go down
He'll come down.
I have a catch it, but Canelo... So I don't see Crawford going 160, and I don't think Canelo will want to go back to 154. See, for me, out of those guys in the welterweight, I think Errol Spencer's the best tools to fight Canelo at high weight.
But I've only heard Crawford talk about going up.
Yeah, he talked about going down as well. I mean, he just needs to leave them boys at top rank, and because the way Crawford's going, he might fight the winner of Ramirez and Josh Taylor, or he might even fight TFC because they're all in top rank at the moment. That's if he signs. If he signs, he's a fool.
He won't sign because the man was powering him, wasn't he? Setting stuff
but
about him recently.
It's true. I mean, but we'll see. That'll be an interesting fight.
So, is there any chance that Canelo loses?
Of course there's a chance.
There's a chance, obviously,
There's
but
a feasible chance.
boy, if I'm looking at it, I don't see Canelo losing against Billy Joe Saunders.
I mean,
to be honest with you,
I start to see that. I mean, BJS will have to do something I've never really seen him do, which is he can do, because when you play this, because that's what him and Few they kind of do when they fight at higher levels. They kind of rise to the competition. I mean, he's gonna have the best fight of his career, and I don't personally see him winning unless he managed to hurt or stun or get Canelo to respect his power. If he doesn't, then
Just give Canelo one, man, on the chin.
Canelo's got a solid chin, but we'll see.
although you're not a Canelo,
No, because I thought Golovkin should have won.
Golovkin did win the first fight.
yeah,
He didn't, though.
to be honest, I think that.
But he didn't go down. Yeah, Golovkin, and obviously Golovkin's now done, man, basically.
Golovkin, I mean, yeah, apparently he was good. He rejected the Charlo fight. He had an option to fight Charlo, rejected that, apparently. But anyways,
Why would he reject that? It must be done. Yeah, done. It's done.
I don't know, man. He's just
Which
done.
of the Charlo brothers was it?
Oh, I can't remember. I just heard Charlo. I
I
didn't.
think he could beat both of them, to be honest.
I mean, he could.
He's getting old, though.
But he's getting old, isn't it? I mean, who knows? Charlo could fight, or Dimitri Andre could fight Canelo. Who knows? But we'll see. Anyways, touching the other fights from out, Jose Ramirez and Josh Taylor.
Josh Taylor's making history.
Undisputed at super lightweight. You know, the winner could be the second after the guy we spoke up. You brought up Terence Crawford, TC. Yeah, what's your thoughts on that? See.
I think Josh Taylor's going to make history. He's going to become the first 4-weight English champion, world champion. So I don't think Ramirez. For me, Ramirez, he has a good resume. You know, he beat Maurice Booker. He beat Postol, but I feel like in that Postol fight, you know, he didn't really handle Postol as well or as efficiently as Josh Taylor did. So. Yeah. I think for that reason, and Josh Taylor, like when I've watched him, I've been pretty impressed. I think he's the real deal, you know.
Yeah, he is.
Real deal.
I mean, Josh Taylor might be UK's best fighter, pound for pound. I mean, there's still Fury. People say Joshua, but he actually might be. But we have to wait and see. I mean, Josh Taylor, literally, I think he wins that fight, personally. But Ramirez, he has high work rate, high intensity. He lets his hands go. He can cause damage. They both have knockout power.
It's true.
Literally, so we'll have to wait and see.
Ramirez is tough, though. I think that'll be a good fight.
It'll be a great fight. I mean, I don't really think we could go the distance, but you know, I think it'll probably won by a knockout or TKO. So we'll have to wait and see. I mean, Josh Taylor, he did handle Postol better, but I'll give Ramirez some slack. I mean, it was in a bubble situation. A lot of weird things happened in the bubble. So and still managed to get the job done at the end. So
it's true. It's all about getting the W. It's all about getting the W.
I mean, that's what. But it's truly a close fight. I wouldn't say truly 50-50, but it's close. But I'll give Taylor the edge. I mean,
Would you think Ramirez does better than?
That's the thing.
I'm struggling to think about what he does better.
Maybe just work rate, intensity, just toughness. Who knows, man? Who knows? What is this guy doing?
Oh, mate, I'm trying to survive, man. Technical faults.
Technical issues.
Don't worry, man. We're still flowing, though.
This guy just...
I was having an absolute mare, man. This is why I say, this is why you pay good money for the studio, fam.
You're just so fresh.
I was having a struggle, man. Hey, not editing, though. This is raw and unique.
It's real shit, man.
It's real, man. This is what I tell you about.
How it's going down.
Shout out Yoba, man. That was disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. I was trying not to, distract the flow of what guys are saying as well.
I got to see how the corner of my eye. But yeah, just tell her the Tornado, bring it home for the UK. Undisputed. Let's get it.
Now they know what Yoba looks. We're trying to keep you a secret, you know. We didn't want people to know what you look like.
But anyways, yeah, we move on. Andy the Destroyer Ruiz Jr. against
Ruiz is fighting again.
Chris Arreola.
That's how
Ruiz has talent, man. People need to. I think you know what? I'm gonna say something. Yeah, like the media, especially when it came to the AJ fight, they was disrespecting Ruiz, saying, "Oh, he's fighting this and that." But in boxing, you don't have to be chiseled. Do you know what I mean? And plus, like his actual boxing is good. Like he's got good hand speed.
Great hand speed.
He moves well. He's a good fighter. He's a good fighter.
Hey, I've never questioned him being a good fighter. I think Ruiz was a very good fight. I was just a bit disappointed in the fight with Joshua. I was disappointed. I think he didn't come here with a good game plan. He came there fat. He came there too happy, like a fat cat got fed.
Hey, like we said before,
money.
When you get big time, you still have that drive.
And I think you said something. He's been dropped by how many trainers? He was dropped by what trainer was he dropped by?
I can't remember their names, but he's been dropped by quite a few trainers. But right now, he's with Eddie Reynoso. You know, trains Canelo, trains Ryan Garcia, trains I believe Oscar Valdez. So he's a really.
What's he looking like?
I mean, going by the videos, but then again, he kind of tricked us with the whole video thing before in terms of his weight and stuff. But he's looking good. But those guys, they always in shape. So hopefully they can rub off on Ruiz. Because Eddie Reynoso, him and Derek James, in my opinion, the best 2 trainers in the world right now. So
Derek James, cold.
Derek James, man, should have won Trainer of the Year, but he didn't. I believe TFM's dad did, or whoever trainer did. I think he won it.
I'm Kronk Jim anyway, so.
You're Kronk Jim.
Yeah.
Do you even know who's in Kronk Jim?
Me.
This guy, bro. I think if Ruiz has got his training camp right, I think that's a real problem for Ariola.
It's kind of, even if he didn't have training camp, I still think he'll beat Ariola. But
what does it take for Ruiz to get another big fight?
That's the thing, because Ariola is like a level. He's not a gatekeeper. It's like a level below the gatekeeper. So after you beat him, then you get the opportunity to face the gatekeepers like the Chisoras and the Parkers. And so
I don't see Ruiz having any problems with Chisora.
Chisora getting beat up. Chisora's a gatekeeper just getting beat up, fam.
Yeah, that's what a gatekeeper is.
Oh, it's deep, fam.
What about Dillian White and Ruiz? Do you think Ruiz would be
a good fight?
I think White could win, but I think White would struggle with that. Like it would. I think he could go the distance.
No, because I think Ruiz got a punch, so he will catch him.
I mean, everyone struggles with Ruiz.
White keeps on getting. White gets caught a lot. He gets caught too often for me. I'm a bit scared of him fighting Wilder because I've been looking back at some of the things. White gets caught too often, man, and it will go down.
I mean, he does get caught, but Wilder gets caught a lot as well. By less opposition. Well, way less opposition. So.
Yeah, but the thing is, Wilder to get actually Wilder down, it takes a lot.
Because no, it's been from lesser opposition.
Fam, Fury doesn't have. Oh yeah,
Fury got him down twice when he was actually properly trained and actually came with a game plan. Now Wilder fights less opposition and doesn't get knocked down. Obviously,
I'm just a bit more fair for that. White would just White has to be perfect for like 12 rounds. Wilder only has to be perfect for like 10 seconds.
White can knock him out.
Nah, because I mean, the fight with Tyson Fury, we saw it like. You
can knock him out.
You can knock him out, yeah. Fury made that light work,
He did because he pressured him.
Work.
He changed everything. He changed everything up because everyone is so defensive against Wilder. Like obviously because they're like the fear of like getting caught. Is Louis Ortiz? Is it Ortiz fight that showed me? Okay, Wilder can get got.
They
said Ortiz is 50 years old. The streets are saying, and he was like literally hanging with him.
These Cuban boys are. They're beasts, These Cuba, the Olympic,
they lie their passport.
They got a boxing.
They're like Nigerians in football. They lie their passport. You don't know how they are.
How's a 50-year-old giving you problems, sir?
He's got skill. I mean, why does he have skill? And that's why he's getting shown up. Like I said, people they take things away from you. That big right hand that you've been living and dying by, they take it away from you. What other wrinkles do you have in your game? What you got next for me?
Anyway, I don't really rate Wilder. Let him fight White. Let him fight. You said that AJ will be a good fight. I don't think that's a great fight. I think. I've changed my opinions on that. I think AJ will beat him up.
AJ should win.
Yeah, I think AJ would win against.
But
Wilder.
People say AJ does have some frailties, which I can see. And Wilder, if he catches him, if he catches anyone, still dangerous.
AJ gets too caught up in a moment. It's because of stupid people like Selassie on the internet gassing him up.
What do you mean I'm gassing him off on the
internet?
internet?
Gassing AJ. I know you shut him out. I heard you at him.
Hey, bro, Fury. I've always been until recently, I've always been like, oh yeah, Team Fury over Team AJ.
Me too.
But I think Fury is just a very awkward fighter. He doesn't box like a typical heavyweight. He kind of boxes like someone that's like a bit lighter.
Yeah.
I don't know what you think about that. He rolls a lot. He does kind of like the shoulder roll. We see him in the ring, kind of circling around and moving a lot. And he does make things very awkward. I mean, I remember when he fought Klitschko couldn't get near him. It was crazy. He didn't knock him out, but easily beat him.
Is it like as a tactical maestro in the heavyweight game? He's a level above all of these guys. As like when it comes to actually thinking the game, he's the best.
I'll give you some flowers for that as well. But
because Usyk's coming from a lesser weight where obviously that background has really helped him. But I would say Fury at the top level, is the best.
Yeah, that's why I've always said AJ's my guy, but AJ got to really show me something I haven't seen before from him, or at least to that level for him to beat Fury, in my opinion. I mean, I'm not saying it's impossible. He can beat Fury. Like I said, it's 60-40 in favor of Fury, but Fury, because he has so many wrinkles, he can go especially after what he did to Wilder, showed him he can actually go to knock out guys properly if he wants to.
It's true.
Really press down action and get rid of it. Obviously, Wilder, he doesn't really have the skills. So
he beat Wilder 2 ways, which is mad. He basically beat Wilder 2 ways, which is like Well, I can beat you if am I worse and I'm fighting a defensive game, and I can beat you if I'm fighting an attack. Like, that's why I don't see any point in no rematch. Wilder's just.
No, I don't think Wilder, Fury deserves.
The thing is with AJ,
it was
with the AJ
night
fight,
and day.
I don't think Fury goes into that fight thinking I'm gonna knock out AJ. What he would do, he would come in with his defensive game plan, make sure AJ doesn't touch him, and just win the points battle. That's what he would do against AJ. He's not knocking AJ out. But I think Fury believes that AJ got a weak chin.
Yeah, most heavyweights they say that about Fury. I think you may not knock out AJ, but it's going to hurt him because if he doesn't hurt AJ and AJ's able to go through his punches, or just try. If you just try to be on the outside,
close.
AJ's he's better cut off the ring than flipping Wilder is. AJ's got foundational skills.
It's true.
So and he's got power in both hands, and
but AJ gets trouble. AJ has lows in fights. Like he'll have a man where he just.
For me, the main thing with AJ was kind of like later on in the fights, does kind of get a bit tired.
Yeah, he used to be the right weight.
And I think with Fury later on in the fights, he looks quite good. Yeah. He looks quite like he's got the ring sharpness.
Fury's a bit. The thing is with Fury, I think Fury's a bit more measured than AJ, and AJ does. I think AJ has lows in fights. Like we'll have a round where it's not up to scratch, then he'll come back. But if you have those lows against Fury.
It takes a breather. I mean, some guys
could be curtains.
Some guys they do take breathers, and if you can get back, take a
round off. 12 rounds, isn't it?
When he fought the builder that time, like the last fight that AJ had,
Pulev.
Yeah, Pulev. There was some rounds I was like, Pulev is actually like involved in this fight. Like I thought AJ was gonna just completely dominate, and he had that fight against what's that guy, Takam.
Yeah,
and it wasn't that as convincing. Like it was a bit of a. But at the same time, Fury's had some fights where I just look at that. Fury, you might have lost that fight when he got the cut on his eye.
Yeah, Fury, I mean...
Both of them have...
That's why it's interesting. Both of them, they do have vulnerabilities. Obviously, AJ's are more pronounced, but Fury does have some as well. He doesn't take all these fights as seriously like the low... Like I say, him and Billy Joe Saunders similar. When they face low competition, they kind of rise and drop to the level of the competition.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see that fight. I mean, like I said, I want to be there. I'll be here, my SFC top.
I hope we see you.
You catch me, I'll be there. But
it's what it is, man.
It's what it is.
Thank you, Selassie, for
blessing us with your presence once more.
Come on, man.
We need to see you back again. Obviously, when we do the preview for the Fury AJ fight.
Yeah, man.
It's always good to see you now. Make the trip over across the river. I know it's difficult for you.
Yeah, am I your first guest from Northwest?
Of course, you're the first guest from Northwest.
Yeah, man.
So
I think so. Yeah.
What are you repping? What entity are you repping? I heard you rep Ealing now.
I said Ealing. That's West. I'm not from Ealing.
But what was that picture you took? I was in Harrow.
Oh, that was in Harrow. Yeah, that was in Harrow. That's Harrow.
Anyways, like and subscribe. Follow us on all platforms. Support the brothers. We're just trying to make it.
It's a blessing.
Run up their thing, man. Run it up, man. On time.
TMG.